Okay, so now we're going to do the first Boer War. Now, the reason I'm just going to say first that I don't know everything about these wars, so going through this, I can give you a general overview. That's why I'm reading some of this out of the Wikipedia. Okay, so let's begin. But in order to understand the Boer Wars, you really got to understand what Boers are and what the Afrikaner identity. So, it was the Dutch established a colony in South Africa, but during the Napoleonic Wars, Britain took it. The Dutch people, felt so different from the English that had become the new colonial masters that they moved inland, fighting off natives, and also the English wanted to establish their own nations. And it was pretty hard for them. There was a good tenth of the population went into the continent. And that makes up most of the white population of modern-day South Africa and their nationalism. So, it was fought between December 20th, 1880 to March 23rd, 1881. And here are the belligerents: South Africa, the South African Republic, the Transvaals, what it's more often known as, and the Orange Free State, British Empire, you see. These are the losses. You can see that the war wasn't necessarily that violent. All war is bad, but 41 killed, 47 wounded, 408 killed, 315 wounded. It was worse for the English. Hold up, let me skip through this. This is just giving you the gist of the war and all the conflicts prior to it and what led up to it. So, hold up. So at first you got this guy, right? And he's refusing to pay taxes because the English collecting the taxes were illegally inflating the tax. So they took his wagon and his property to pay it off. Okay? But then the Boers, right? Boer means farmer in Afrikaans. And in the associated languages like German, it's also pretty close. Word in German for Boer is Bauer. Dutch, it's also Boer. In all those language groups, it's all still pretty close. I don't know how English got farmer. Okay, well, then Transvaal, the South African Republic, declared independence from them on 16th of December, 1880, with shots fired by Transvaal at Potchefstroom. Okay, so it appears that they ambushed a convoy. The Boers did not necessarily do well with fixed battles. More guerrilla warfare. We got the word commando from them, because every man in a little district would organize themselves up into a commando, because the Boers didn't have a single field army. So what they do is they get their horse, they get their gun together, they go fight. They didn't have any modern firearms, and but they were skilled marksmen and horsemen. I just said, very few had anything. They wore whatever, more grayish clothes, I guess, or brown, whatever, just worn out in the, farming or normal clothes. Well, the British have got their stereotypical red clothes. Wool clothes, it's not good to be wearing wool in Africa. They had more modern weapons. Action at Bronkhorst Spoot. Okay, so they kind of ambushed them. They were 120 men, and their commander were dead or wounded within minutes of the first shots. Boers lost total 2 killed and 5 wounded. This is mainly Irish regiment. Okay, so it looks like they completely destroyed the British at this battle with literally just 2 soldiers. Okay, well then the Boers started rebel in other places, it appears, and caught the some of the, the fortresses in the region. Crap, my mind's going blank. By surprise. All they could really do is, hold off a siege, try their best, wait for someone to help them. Okay. Battle of Lang's Neck. It appears that the British attempted a cavalry charge to break off one of the Boer positions, to break through the Boer positions in the Drakensberg Mountains to relieve their garrison. which means that maybe that was an attempt to save one of the forts. They got repelled. Okay, we understand the battery's close to dying. Okay, so 150 never returned, and many of the officers were shot down. They only had 480 troops altogether. Schunzhugta. At the Battle of Schunzhugta, also known as Ngogo, there's a B. British lost another battle, barely escaping. Boers attacked the convoy at the Ngogo River crossing. The stronger forces, some 300 men, the firepower was evenly matched. So it appears they lost a good number of troops. Mayuba Hill. So it appears that the British tried to occupy the hill. The Boers drove them off. Suffered heavy losses, the British did. It appears that most of them fell off the mountain and died, actually. I just know the gist of these wars, like who won them, what, you know. So just kind of read it. If you want to pause it, it's totally up to you. This is the first war Britain had really been beaten in since America, it says. It would see them introduce khaki uniforms, which, yeah, that we know them more by. I mean, more modern units by up until World War II. Yeah, they really don't need to be wearing red anywhere. Not even in Europe. It's pretty bad. 1881 peace. Under British suzerainty. So what? They kind of have to do as Britain says. What? Okay. So that's the road. Okay, so they got independent, right? But they're under British suzerainty. So they accepted the Queen nominal role in British control over external relations. I'm sorry, but Britain really needed to get its head out of its ass in these places, wanting everywhere to be the king of everything. Like, it's like, are you serious? Or, I mean, queen of everything, or king, who really cares? It just switches back and forth. Like, if I was the Boers, I personally would have kept fighting and been like, no. It's like, we're going to be independent. Have you seen our losses? We can still field more troops. You will be destroyed. The only way for the British to do anything would be complete genocide, on the Boer people, which you'll see in the Second Boer War when I do that. But I would have been like, no, we're going to decide our own government, going to decide our own thing. Not going to tell us to what to do. That's really what I got to say about this.